Hi, I just wanted to show you a quick video demo of how to create a Gantt chart in Excel because Microsoft very kindly haven't bothered to give us one. You may have noticed this. It's very simple to create a Gantt chart, but it can be made more complex, okay? So the simple method I'm going to show you today, I'm just going to share my screen. I've set up this spreadsheet. So I'm going to put in the description in this column, the start period, the duration, and the finish. Gantt charts are not very, and charts in general are not very, they're not very keen on us using dates. So I'm going to just use a period number for this. So I'm going to start with a description. So I'm just going to say we're going to have step 1 in our project. Let me just drag that down. Let's say we have 5 steps. Brilliant, that'll do. We're going to start at period 1, which might be day 1, month 1, week 1, doesn't really matter. The duration is going to be, let's say it'll be 5 days. So it's going to finish on the 6th day. Now, you might already be thinking one of them could be a formula. Brilliant. So let's calculate the finish as a formula. So we can literally just say equals the sum of these two. Cool. And we can drag that down. So that's one less thing for us to do. Yay. So we're going to start step 1 on day 1 and finish it 5 days later. So we'll be finished on day 6. I'm just going to fill in some more of these. Let's say we start step 2 on day 3, finish it on day 7. In fact, that's not right, is it? Yes, it is. Yeah. So it's going to finish on day 10. We start it on day 3, finish it on day 7, finish on day 10. Yes, I'm with me. We're going to start step 3 on day 2. I'm going to finish it on day 4. We'll start step 4 on day 5 and finish it on day 5. Oh, sorry, it's going to last for 5 days. That's fine. And then we'll start step 5 on, say, day 4 and last that 2 days duration, finish on day 6. Okay. So ultimately, these are all the durations. So you can see the latest day there is going to be day 10. So we're going to start the project on day 1. We're going to finish it on day 10 by the look of that. So what we can now do is plug this into a chart. So we can literally just highlight all of those cells. If we go to the insert ribbon, we're going to go to the charts. So if we go into the column and bar chart section, what we're going to choose is a stacked bar chart. So not a column chart because they do them upright. Vertical. We want a horizontal one, so a 2D bar we're going to go for. So if we go for something like this, you can see this is a clustered bar and it gives us a different color bar for the finish, the duration, and the start. Okay. I am going to go for this option, which is a stacked bar. So what you can see here, if I just select it, it's easier to see. So let's look at step 1, for example. So the blue bit is the start, the orange bit is the duration, and the grey bit is the finish. So the start for step 1 started at period 1. So you can see the blue is just for 1 block. The duration is then 5, which takes us up to this number 6, if you like, on this axis. And then the finish, that represents 6 blocks in grey. So ultimately, we don't really care about the blue and the grey. But what this has enabled us to do is position the duration starting at period 1 and finishing at period 6 for step 2, starting at period 3 and finishing at period 10. Okay, so what we can now do, so this is kind of a little bit of a workaround, is make an Excel give you what you need without it really knowing it's doing it. So what we're now going to do is we're going to take the blue sections of the chart. So I've literally select one, the left mouse, and it highlights all of them. I'm going to right click and I've got fill, and I can literally say no fill. So I'll change those to white so they effectively disappear from the chart. I'm going to do the same with the grey. So literally left click onto the grey, right click and do fill and do no fill. Brilliant. And then we might as well get rid of that key because it's just confusing. So I'm going to select it and press delete. I'm going to get rid of that chart type as well because it's not very helpful. We could call it something if we needed. I'm going to get rid of it for now. Okay, so there is our lovely Gantt chart. So you can see when we're starting and when we're finishing, which is brilliant, isn't it? One thing that bugs me, though, about this being a Gantt chart is that it starts at step 5 and works down to step 1. Really, I'd like to see the first step at the top. So there's a really simple way we can do that. So if we select the axes, right-click your mouse and do Format Axes, we get another little panel on the right-hand side. And in Axes Options, there's a great little tick box here for categories and reverse order. So if I tick that, what you'll notice is, brilliant, it's put step 1 at the top and it's also moved our horizontal axes at the top as well, so it's easier to read. We could click on this axis and we can see the axis options here. It goes to a maximum of 25. We know our latest day is going to be day 10, so we could potentially amend that to say day 15 if you wanted. Just enter that. Okay, so now you can see it changes the day, so they go up in twos by the look of it. So again, we can change that axis. We could say make it go up in ones if we wanted. We can go up in individual days. So you can amend it however it's easy for you to see. So that is probably the simplest way. Let's get rid of that. The simplest way of coming up with a Gantt chart for yourself. Now, if I change that number and make that 9, automatically that jumps up to 12. So it's dead easy to manage. That chart can then get moved, cut and paste onto another sheet if you need it to. So that's a very simple Gantt chart. The other option that you have on a Gantt chart, and this will be my preference, but it needs a little bit of understanding, is Microsoft give us some templates. So if you go to File and New Blank Workbook, oh, hold on, I didn't mean to do that. We're going to go to New, actually, is better. So you can get to the blank workbook there. But they have lots of templates, and you can see down here, there's a simple Gantt chart. There's lots of different templates you can get for lots of different things. What we could do here is we could search for, and it gives us all the different categories, or we could just type in the word that we want to search for there. So I'm going to literally search for Gantt, press enter. So there's all these different Gantt charts it gives us. This is my favorite. This is one I tend to recommend to people. So I'm just going to double click that. The double click, oh, hang on, let me go back and do that again. New. So if you select it once, it comes up with this screen, tells you a bit more about what it's going to do. You can then click create. When I double clicked it, just automatically created it. So what this is, so you can see it looks like a Gantt chart here, but this gives us the opportunity to include the start, the duration, and then the actual start and the actual duration. So you'll see it gives us a different key here. So the diagonal lines there is the planned duration. So this one should have gone up to plan day 5. But you can see it's actually 100% complete at day 1, and I think up to day 4, because that's the actual start date, isn't it? So it's actually only lasted 4 days, not the 5. So it's finished earlier. So this is really cool, and it tells us what percentage it is in completion. We can also, you can see period 1 is highlighted there. We could then choose show me period 6, and it would, if it is day 6, and it can highlight that for us there. So this is already built for us in Excel. We can literally just download the template like you've just seen. We can then amend these activities and call that step 1, or whatever you wanted it to be. We could edit these as much as we want to and make it, and it goes down to the 26 activities there. We can change all these numbers. We can put more in, put less in, but it's actually already set up. So it saves you having to do it. But the weird thing about this, I'm just going to mention now, is that although this is called a Gantt project planner, it looks like a Gantt chart, but it's actually nothing. It's not even a chart. This is made up of a series of, this is not protected at all, so you can look at it. This is a series of, I think, conditional formatting rules. So if we go to, in the home ribbon, conditional formatting, manage rules, there's all the rules. So this is how it's applying those colours and those formats to each of those cells, literally based on these numbers here. So it's almost like there's no formulas required. It's just formatting and conditional formatting at that, which is clever. So I hope that gives you a few options, a few ideas of how you can manipulate Excel to give you what you want. And of course, as per, any questions, please do give me a shout. Thank you.